Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream Park. Ron Nicoletti along with Samantha Perry and Brian. They had a great day up there for the Maryland Million and a little bit of an upset in the race, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit, but it looks like a beautiful day there, and our crew at our sister track did a great job.
Yeah, and but if you were around here yesterday, you saw the rain we got.
Yeah.
It was just all day, all night long. So we have a sealed sloppy track. We got the all-weather torpedo, which is fantastic. And, of course, off the turf this afternoon. Let's check out what's going on with the Rainbow Six situation today. We had a nice go. Look, 75,000. They bet into it good yesterday. Had about 65,000 when the smoke cleared. And you had a chance to take it down once again today for that nice, cool 75,000 or thereabout. I mentioned the track conditions there. One other thing before we get started, it's our buddy Larry Comus's birthday. I believe he's 80. 81
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks great for 81. No, I don't know. Congratulations. Happy birthday, Larry. So with that said, let's get to my early pick five ticket. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get it going. And there you see it's $48 for me. I went four deep, and I've been got knocked out in the first leg for 3 days in a row. I'm not letting it happen today. Second race, with the scratch, and Hub City looks awful good with water out of that race. Third race, I went deep. It's a pretty wide open affair. I have the 8 Cajun cooking on top. In race number 4, just 2 for me. My top pick is the 6 Cove Star for Joe Orsino. And in race number 5, that's where the Rainbow Six also starts. I went with the old 3, 4, 5, the 3 being the top. Spirit of Victory.
I like it. $48. It's a nice
$48.
sequence, too.
Yeah, it's a really nice sequence. You got a chance to hit this thing, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Especially if that 5 horse in the second race comes through and looks like it should. Hub City in great form.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out. Now, getting to this first race, it's going to be contested at 1 mile and 1/16 on the all-weather torpedo. These are maiden claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. But we only had one turf race scheduled for today.
Yeah,
I
we
believe,
did,
The
yeah.
9th race or the 10th race, I believe it was. So scratch the number 9, belly dance in here. And interesting, you did go with the one. I like that. I want to hear about that.
Yeah, I did. Starship Spectacle. This filly ran really well on debut, and she galloped out really nicely. It was just a big late run by her. And Steve Dwoskin is a barn that does much better, I feel like, second time out. And this is a tricky post position, but I love the fact that they're going to stretch her out right away.
Well, let's show that's that.
Yeah,
with
let's do it.
Starship Spectacle right now, so we could see if we could figure this out. Second start, sprint the route over the past 3 years. Limited sampling, but you knew it would be good.
Yeah.
One of them paid a lot of money, or some of them, because the return investment
Yeah.
is $9.98. But that's what Steve does. That's why I wanted to show this. That when he does this, they always pay well.
They do. I agree completely. And taking early money right now, at least.
Yeah, I did go with the number 4, Raina Mar, and I think we have a video
We
with
do.
a couple of the horses that we want to show.
Yeah, Raina Mar ran well here. She was really far out of it. I'm shocked that she was able to just make this big run here. And we also have Tariba Dream and Alma Plura, who was a huge price that day. But that's not where you want to be for Raina Mar, splitting horses up the rail in a race like this.
Yeah, no, good performance. Only gets beat that whisker at
Yes.
the wire there, so that a good performance. I went there. I saw other speed in the race, so I thought maybe this would be the right way to go. Now, before we talk about any other horses in this race, yesterday we've noticed that Samantha and I sort of agreed that the speed was really good
Yeah.
on the sealed sloppy track, which we're starting the day with. But if it stays like this, it's absolutely beautiful out.
Yeah.
It might dry out, but that and you made a great point that the outside closers on the torpedo weren't really getting there.
No, they weren't. They were trying, but they just couldn't really. It's like they just hit a slow belt there. So just take note of that today, especially, on these torpedo races.
Yeah, and the other horses that commanded that race, and the 6, Pure Alma Pure,
Yep.
we just showed that along with Tariba Dream, in race number 1, where the pick 5 starts. Race number 2, 5.5 furlongs. These are claimers, and they're fillies, 3-year-olds, and fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. Big scratch. The only significant
Yes.
scratch on the whole card today is the number 2 Water in this race. So that one has been declared out of here. Got an early pick 4 ticket. I will show you quickly here and sort of a rundown of what I just showed you with the early pick 5. Still going with that 5. Not my best bet today, but I went after the scratch of Water. I said I'm going to take a shot, and you can see it's the exact copy. $12 for me.
I like it too, and you're starting out with a good race because Hub City, she's rattled off 4 wins in a row now. That's really well. Actually, one of them she crossed crossed the finish line first, and
And
it
she
was
was
a
taken down.
disqualified. But, yeah, we'll watch the replay. Warda's obviously not in this race, but anybody can go to the lead, and Hub City usually just does the same type of run here.
Yeah, I've really been performance. You can see it right now.
Yeah, so Warda was going to be the heat of this race, but there's still other speed in here. I think Lucy's Cookie will go on the drop. So Hub City just has this great turn of foot here for the Tapeta. Now, I felt like, we talked about how the horses that were trying to make up ground yesterday on the Tapeta on the outside were kind of slowing down. But if you were towards the inside, it played out well, and she will be today.
Yeah, she looked in with the scratch of water,
Yeah.
it's there, and then maybe use Lucy's Cookie on the inside, which
Yeah.
we both had a little bit of interest in. But you know what I like about Hub City, not to belie a big favorite in here, this horse is tractable. It doesn't
Yes.
have to be far back and sit close up.
Yeah.
So certainly something you have to take into consideration. We'll see how that plays out. Trained by the one, the only, Bobby DeMono. So let's go to race number 3 this afternoon, 6 furlongs, as we mentioned, with that track we're dealing with early on today. And these are 2-year-olds. And we have one scratch in here on the number 9, Ryan Shadow. And we also have a jockey change on number 4 horse in here, make that rider Sammy Camacho. And well, you got Red Candy Apple, the one we got the video of.
Yeah, we do, and this is perfect for today because you watch what he did in his last race on debut. He dueled in the front end. He was about too wide on the rail the whole time, or in a too deep bid the whole time, and just got tired on the rail, Ron. But on a day like today with this sealed, sloppy surface, he just got tired. I think we'll expect a way bigger performance today.
Yeah, a lot of people say, oh, it was a speed track, but not every horse won on the lead. That's not the case all the time. They can be in second, and they don't belong in second, and they hold on and finish second. Just shows that there was good speed there. So, whatever. I did go with the number 8, as I mentioned, and that's Cajun Cooking for Kathleen O'Connell, Luca Panici in the saddle, and just the first-time starter. So what I saw, Cajun Breeze, they're very precocious. Kathleen had a nice win yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe Cajun's Cooking, first-time starter for Kathleen, will get the job done. She has some decent numbers with first-time starters. She's always right there.
Yeah.
She's so consistent, Kathleen. So I went that way. You went with the horse with a little bit of ability and, showed it can, set the pace if it so wants to.
Right.
And that went to the inside with number 1, Western Shaft, another first-time starter from Danny Hertak. Just a horse I thought maybe, a couple of nice workouts, one in the slop recently.
Yeah.
Maybe this one grabs this year.
Yeah, this is a horse that, it will probably need an out, but again, if you've got that quick work on the sloppy track, that's a good sign.
Now, 9-5 on One More Duke for Mike Yates.
Yeah.
You got this one higher rated than I do.
Yeah, if this is such a huge drop in class to the $25,000 level from the mated special weight ranks. Now, he didn't do any running then, and read into it what you will, that Melvis Gonzalez goes to Red Candy Apple, but this is a huge drop in a nice outside post.
Yeah, so we'll see how that runs, and that's always the biggest drop, maiden
Yeah.
special weight into maiden claiming. So that is race number 3. In race number 4, we're going to be sprinting on the Tapeta at 5 furlongs. These are maiden claimers, 3-year-olds in the upward. We did have a scratch in here of the number 4 horse, Red Abario, and you have the number 1 on top, Insolent, and we have a replay we want to show you.
Yeah, Insolent and Cove Star. This was their race 2 starts back. Well, 2 starts back for Insolent, at least. This is Cove Star's MO. Always bet down to the favorite and cannot see a race through. When you're in Cove Star's situation, you're supposed to win from here. Now, Insolent tried to have a go, couldn't get it done, and a different Vincio was the eventual winner there. But I feel like if you're Cove Star, you're not supposed to give it up like this.
Yeah, and someone yesterday in a radio show made a joke of called horses like this sucker horses.
Yeah.
And it was a sucker horse yesterday, so, so that was funny. And, I can understand going with the 1 horse here rather than going with the 6 Cove Star. Insolent,
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. And then you got the number 5 horse in here, and that's Breeze the Bayou, and this one's from Mike Yates. Hey, it's right there at the wire, coming off the bench, 12-5 is its level, 4 for 7 in the money, this horse.
Yeah, and going to try the Tapeta for the first time, which will be interesting.
You like that move a little
Yeah,
bit?
I do, yeah.
So here you go. We're going to take a very short break. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow Six ticket, and I believe it's going to be a winning one.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream. Today it is Ron and Samantha, and it is a really beautiful, well, it's afternoon now. It's 12:02,
Yep.
so nice afternoon so far. And if you're just joining us, we were bombarded by rain yesterday,
Yep.
so we're dealing with the no turf. And we only had one turf race scheduled for today, so not a big concern, but you always like to be on the turf somewhere. And we got the main track is listed sealed and sloppy, but if you know Florida like we do, it could be fast within
Yes.
2 hours. So with all that said, let's take a look at my Rainbow Six ticket. 43.20 today. We'll talk about the 5th race in a moment. Race number 6, my top pick is the 4, area code 501 for a day, folks. We got a stat we're going to show you there. Race number 7 kicks off the late pick 4. My top pick is the 2, Delightful Summer. I thought that was going to be my long shot, and it turned out it was 2-1, so it didn't work out so well for me there. The 8th race, the 1 for me, La Gioconda, is on the inside, and I used 3 others, and here's my single of the day. I'm going to go with the hot horse in here, Blue Spearman, stepping up a little bit, 9-2 on the morning line. And the last race is the one that came off the turf, the only turf race today, so I went 4 deep in there, and we'll see how that plays out. 43.20 for me.
I like it a lot. I like your single as well. That's a good one. And this is a head-scratcher race to start things off, Ron.
Yeah, you go to the favorite, 9-5, where I ended up, and that is Spirit of Victory, owned and trained by Steve Klusaris.
Yeah, this horse just looks like the one. Now, there are 2 Steve Klusaris runners in this race. I think you used both of them on your ticket, which is smart. This is one that I've got lower down. But Spirit of Victory does look better of the 2 Steve Klusaris horses. Has just been at this level the last few starts and hasn't been able to get it done. But I like the fact that Edgar's eye stays.
Yeah, and tepid favorite last time, too.
Yes.
Didn't take a lot of money, and then ended up finishing 3rd. And then you got the other. And you could go with number what? No, let's go with the 1 that you have at 2nd, and that is Red Hot Spark.
Just another one that came out of that race of the number 3 Spirit of Victory and was very wide. Maybe can get a better trip here today.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the other Klusaris is that 4 horse in there. Broke its maiden, and you don't. It's tough to jump up and face winners, but not in this spot. I think it can be done.
Yeah, especially against this group that seemingly doesn't want to break through.
Yep. So we'll see how that 5th race plays out. 6th race this afternoon, 6 furlongs on the main track, maiden claimers, and they are fillies 2-year-olds. And we have Samantha's pick 5 starting here.
We do, and I'm spreading in this leg because there wasn't a lot to look on online of these horses. So we'll get into this race in just a second. Race number 7, I do have the 5 on top, Josiah. That's my long shot today. Race number 8. The 1 on top for me, La Gioconda. Race number 9, 2 deep, but the 1, Zio Lorenzo on the class drop for Eddie Paliza looks pretty solid here. And in race number 10, the finale, I scratch into the 9 as my top pick. That's Shack Revenge, $72.
Yeah, I definitely like Shack Revenge more on the turf myself. I had him on top all along. So, but I also used 249. So that was my play in that particular race. Getting back to this race number 6 this afternoon. My papers are always stuck together here in South Florida. I went with a first-time starter, and so did you. And
Yep.
that's area code 501 for David Fawkes. Miguel Vasquez will ride. Miguel Vasquez just riding in great form.
Yeah.
I found the stat with David Fawkes. Wanted to check this out to see what was going on. And 2-year-olds, first-time starters, maiden claiming dirt sprints, 19%, 43% in the money. So
This is good.
good stat, right?
Yeah, it's a great stat for a barn that has been just in great form lately. And like you said, with Miguel Vasquez, he's been riding in just top-tier form. And, hey, this horse, at least on paper, looks ready for the races.
Interesting horse with the horse you have at second. Head further down is Winner's Glory. Winner's Glory looks pretty good in its debut at Delaware. Comes here, doesn't run a step, drop right down. Now changing barns and dropping down to this level today. So we'll see how it runs.
Yeah, and going to try the dirt here for the first time. The Tapeta 2-turn race just tossed that race because it just was almost a non-effort. So I think that this filly's better than she showed.
And I went with the one horse in second. That's Venezuelan Pride, Victor Barboza Jr. Not his strong suit.
Right.
First-time starters, got to deal with the rail, but the barn's just going good. And then I looked to the right, MCL Jaramillo,
Yes.
multiple win day again yesterday. Boy, if anybody knows how to get a horse out of the gate and get him in position, it's MCL Jaramillo. He's been riding great all summer long.
Yeah, he has. This is one that I dropped off my ticket last, and so this is probably the one that'll beat me. How it
Yeah,
happens.
that happens all the time. An early delivery, a first-time starter from Mr. Peter Walden. Its sire is Cupid by Tappet. We'll see what we get there.
Yeah, we'll see. I think that, one thing, Cupid was quite a monster in the off track, so if anything, she's got that going for her.
That's good. We'll go to race number 7 this afternoon, and it is a 1-mile event. It's a 1-turn mile for claimers, fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races in life. And Samantha is going to have her pick 4 in here.
Yeah, the late pick 4 ticket, so hopefully we're not out for the pick 5, but here it is. No singles for me. My best bet's earlier in the card. It is a run back. Race 8, I feel like could be a race where you watch the board, so take a look at your double will pays when you get into race 7. But I do have the one on Top Law Gioconda. And then, as Ron mentioned in this finale, it's a competitive race, but the 9 Shack Revenge. I don't know. Watch the money on the last race because it seems like whoever they bet is who wins the nightcap.
2 days in a row
Yes.
it's happened. And the bettors know way more than we think we
Yeah,
know in there.
that's
So
true.
we'll see how it plays out there. Getting back to the 7th race, as I mentioned, I thought that sharp line work, Brian Natto found this horse. I thought he would miss it, but he did not with Delightful Summer. And this one, just dropping in half, getting the blinkers off. So I found the stat with Mr. Bennett and Sammy Camacho that do a great job together. And 50% drop in the dirt in the past 5 years. 24%, a solid number.
Yeah.
58%. I mean, 168. You say, well, that is a positive return of investment, just because you get the green light with that. It's not like, oh my God, you only 168.
Right.
That's good.
It is.
So Gerald Bennett, and it just looks like the logical one on the drop. And boy, this horse was knocking heads with much tougher.
Way tougher, and you look at horses like Star of Saturn, who ran yesterday. I think ran 3rd. In the race yesterday, but she's just one. I love the blinkers coming off too.
Now, I'm sorry, sir. Your long shot is Josiah, the number 5?
Yep, it is, because this filly, her last win, her only win was on the dirt, and it was a really big effort going 2 turns at Tampa, and then they put her on the turf the last few starts at Colonial, and she just didn't. I mean, she hit the board, but it wasn't that great. It wasn't like her win, and now she'll get back to this 1-turn mile. I think it'll fit her perfect.
Yeah, we'll see how that horse runs, and you get a little bit of a price. Now, another horse that's we both have highly rated is Black Belt Barbie, and we will show you a video of Black Belt.
Black Belt Barbie is a horse that, she was really good for a while, and then she's just at the claiming level at least. But as far as this race here goes, the rail is not ideal all the time, and she just had a nice ground-saving ride. I don't want to knock the ride or anything for it because Sonny Leon did everything right. She just couldn't get it done. It seems like lately she's just been finding 1 or 2 better. I don't know how the situation could change today. One good thing I think maybe for her is she's got to win over a wet track.
Yeah, she's going to win over wet track, but She hasn't won a race since 2022. So,
Yeah.
it's not that it's 5,000 starts or anything like that. But she's got 5 second-place finishes from those 16 starts over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But you're right about the off-track. And it's a good spot maybe where this horse can
Right.
break through finally once again. And as Samantha always says, once they do, you watch this horse might reel off 3 in a row.
Exactly.
Who
You never
knows?
know.
And then the number 4, Awesomely Wild, I thought did run well for Vaughn Hurd before going to the bench, broke its maiden. It's a pretty nice performance.
Yeah, it was. But now you just wonder, where have you been lately? But hey, she's coming off of a victory.
Yeah, Jonathan Ocasio will be in the saddle. That is race number 7. Going to race number 8, we're going to sprint now at 6.5 furlongs, and these are interesting horses here. These are fillies, 2-year-olds. We do have a scratch in here of the number 5, Suggestion Box, easy for me to say, and we both have the number 1 horse in here, La Gioconda, on top of our ticket.
Yeah, she's a filly that is drawn tough in this spot. As of, I believe it was Thursday night that I did this, Caracaro is 3 for 11 first time out. But that's pretty good,
Yeah.
It's the 27% strike rate. The rail's not ideal, but this barn can get him ready first time.
Yeah, and you look at the bottom of the past performance, Gustavo Delgado, great trainer.
Yeah.
As you know, all the success he's had recently with not a lot of starters. Kentucky Derby winner, Dimension 1. But, he's good with 2-year-olds. He's good with first-time starters. So why not? And that's why I went there. Now, you got the number 6 horse in here that we have a replay of, and she's him maintenance.
She's high maintenance.
Oh, high maintenance.
You get it?
Okay.
It's
Oh,
named
now
after
the
her.
high in there. Yeah,
There you go.
She's high. I heard Phil. I heard about Pete calling this.
Yes. She's high maintenance is on the outside here for Jose D'Angelo. Now, in this breeze, she's kind of getting out some. I wanted to show this not because I necessarily thought it was great. I kind of wanted to just show what was going on here. Now, you see the rider. She tapped her a couple times on the shoulder. But maybe it's not so much getting out. It was just kind of wandering down the lane. But she never let this other horse get too far out of her sight. She galloped out okay. Now, we might see her. For Jose D'Angelo, this is a trainer that does a lot of things exceptionally well, but first-time starters is not usually one of them.
An interesting horse here. I mean, we know the connections very well with the number 2, Lindsay Smiles. Has a couple of decent works, getting ready for its debut. Owned in part by Lindsay Russo and David Russo. So good friends of ours, so we're wishing them a lot of luck. Hey, and it attracted the service of Edgar Zayas.
Yeah, that's huge, and a solid work tab as well. They have the half-sibling Miles of Smiles, the Russos do as well, and all of those are dirt sprinters and dirt routers, so I'm happy to see this filly debut. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll be rooting, right?
We will be.
We'll certainly be rooting for them. And by the way, that's the first leg of the Coast to Coast.
It is.
So make sure we'll be talking about it during the lightning round, but just wanted to mention race number 8 is where it starts in Florida. Then, of course, shifts over to Santa Anita.
Right.
Race number 9 is 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. These are claimers, 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds, and up, no scratches, no jockey changes. And you went to the inside here with Zio Lorenzo, and not probably, is the one to beat here.
Definitely. It's a huge class drop. This horse last won the non-winners of 2 level for the $25,000 category, and then just bumped up to state breds competitive competition, really competitive competition in the last 2 starts. And I think it was just bit off a little more than he could chew.
I was really intrigued with the number 8, Blue Spearman.
Yes.
Why? Because this horse breaks its maiden for 12.5. They put it in the next logical level and just draws off and wins impressively. Going to get the acid test today, but I just thought this was, I'm going to go with the current good form.
I think you should, especially when you win both of your races. Sprinting, by the way, by a combined 8 lengths, that's very impressive.
Yeah, and it happens all the time. You just get a good claim, and your horse just wakes up. You don't know what you're getting. You get it for $8,000, and it can turn out and make you some money. And we got a video we want to show you, horses that I have a little underneath, and so do you.
Yeah, this is Venezio and Uncaptured Star here. Uncaptured Star This poor guy, he did all of the work on the front end and paid the price late. Now, this horse actually was, it wasn't like was running off down the backside almost here and just couldn't get it done. I mean, of course not, because when you set those kind of fractions at this lower level claiming, you can't see that through. But Benicio, a horse that was trying winners for the first time here and ran quite well, actually.
Yeah, he did. And Uncaptured Star had a little bit of that goofy race. So I think if this horse, can stay straight and true, can really upset 15-1 on the morning line. So that's what you like to look. Good long shot in that race. If not on top, maybe underneath, right? So the only race that we had on schedule on the turf was race 10. It was originally scheduled for a mile, now to be run at 1 mile and 70 yards on the all-weather Tapeta. We did have 2 scratches in here of the 7 and the number 8 horse. And, you just look at the horse that we have on top now, and you actually scratched into it.
Yeah.
I had it on top. I thought this horse was a kick in the pants on the turf. Yeah. I don't know about the form on the Tapeta.
Yeah, I don't want to read too much into her first start because, one, that was a very competitive race during the championship meet. She was really not that great. Then when she stretched out to 2 turns, it was a different horse. So we've never gotten to see her on the Tapeta going 2 turns. So you just treat it as it's almost a first start for her. I don't know.
And how good has Joe Bravo been riding?
Yep.
He's going to get that nice, stalking outside trip in that particular race. So, yeah, logical one. What did you see with the 2, and that is the Bianca Hart?
This horse has some speed, at least showed last time out, and now you have a Misael Jaramillo. So what are we going to try to do here? Maybe just pop the field on the front end.
I think that's what they're going to try with the 4 that we have on our ticket. And that's Goddess Minerva, because they're going to stretch this horse out, Gerald Bennett, and we mentioned how good he does with Sammy Camacho. This one, sprint, on the pace there. You could see they were going quick, 2 back, 21-3. Now he's stretching out around 2 turns. You think this horse is going to be on there, playing catch me if you can. You
exactly.
Would think. So, interesting way to end the day. That's how we see the 10 race card this afternoon. But we got our lightning round, and boy, it's an interesting one because we've got lots of stuff going on here next week.
Yeah, we do. But first and foremost, we have the Coast to Coast today. It starts off in the maiden race here at Gulfstream, and it's I think about a 3.5-hour sequence.
Yeah, our first one is that one with our buddy's horse, Lindsay Smile. So it's a wide open affair, and you see that, hey, we got 2 in a row. No. 8 and 10 for us.
Yep, they're good races too. Big fields today at Santa Anita as well. So get involved. It was a pretty formful yesterday and paid $600, so it pays well.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. You said, I can't believe this thing paid $600.
Yeah.
Oktoberfest also next week.
Yeah, next week it's the Taste of the Track edition. It'll be a really fun Saturday this week. I'm looking forward to. We've got 12 races. I like the pretzels. I know you like the beer.
Well, I'm leaning to the pretzel too, but I'll try a few beers there.
Right.
But of course,
not
after
while
work.
we're working.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But the big news is the Florida Sire Stakes.
Yeah, we drew the card for Saturday, like we said, and we've got the next leg in the Florida Sires Stallion, Florida Sires Series. There we go.
Florida Sires.
But Rated by Merit is back, and he's just been so good. We're going to talk to Mike Gates today, but here he is winning the Dr. Fager. I don't see why 7 furlongs would be a problem for him come Saturday, Ron.
No, this horse looks like he always wanted to go longer and could go longer, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, his 2 races have just been for fun, And early on in his 2-year-old season, his first start, he had the highest buyer figure of any 2-year-old in the country there for a while. He is one fast horse, so we're going to see it in 7 furlongs. I don't see a big difference when he stretched from 6 to 7. It's when they go to the mile in the 16th, and there you see the field there, Rated by Merit. 3-5.
Yep, and deservingly so. And we talked to Neoclose trainer Sappy Joseph yesterday. He said, I don't like putting a horse in to run second, but that's might be what we're doing. You never know. And then, of course, we've got the fillies as well. It drew a 7-horse field, and we do have a new shooter in that race for Larry Ravelli, Rogue Diamond, that horse.
Yeah, won its debut at Hawthorne, and, Florida bred, and you got to be Florida bred, of course, so he's going to give it a shot. Boy, is Larry Ravelli a good trainer.
Yeah, and I think it's good whenever you ship a horse down, but our Morning Brew, of course, the one to beat.
Yeah. Definitely. So, it's going to be a real nice day. And I can't wait for these 2 races to go in our Morning Brew. And, we talked to the connections, and it's amazing. You're sort of a little bit surprised that this
They
horse
were,
is so good.
yeah. It's exciting for them because they had our Harper Rose last year, and it's very fun. So excited for Saturday, but today we got to put some money in your pockets.
What's your best bet?
It's insolent for me. Yeah, insolent.
She is insolent sometimes. I will admit
I wish.
to that.
I wish. I'm not going to expose myself. I wish I knew what that means.
Means being a pain in. Well, my best bet
Exactly.
here is in race number 9. It's the 8 Blue Spearman. That horse going for 3 in a row, but stepping up. I lost my long shot today. I didn't lose it. It was 2-1. So I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
You lost
mention
it.
Yeah, I lost my mind picking it. Is what I did. And yours is Jasai in race number 7.
Yeah, you lost that a long time ago.
Yeah,
Your
that's,
mind.
that's true too.
Yep.
So that's it. That's how we see everything. Right now, it's one of the nicest early afternoons in South Florida. You never know what you're going to get here in South Florida. But we're going to turn it over to Peter Aiello. He's going to give you all the scratches, changes, and we certainly will be back here all afternoon long.